Hello, this is Valorie Renee and Shawn Sykora joining me, and we are here with you tonight for a special edition of Valorie Renee and Shawn Sykora Unscripted. Mercury Retrograde is particularly strong, officially starting tomorrow. We've been feeling it already. And it is so hot here in California. Not complaining because I know it's hot in so many places. We're just not accustomed to having 90 and 100-degree weather with high humidity and no air conditioning. So it kind of comes into this perfect storm with Mercury retrograde, and tonight's love cast is preempted by Mercury retrograde. Shawn and I are here with a extra special edition for you tonight. So Shawn, thanks for being here with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for being you and being here too.
So we were just talking about this particular retrograde being extra strong, and I feel like I'm in a frying pan, like I'm being fried, sizzled.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah,
in the frying pan. Not just because it's hot weather, but there's so much going on that's hot that needs attention.
Yeah, and there's different ways to describe it. I try to do like a personality, or just try to interpret what I'm seeing motion wise, not just there's so many delineation rules in astrology, but the Mercury, it's going to retrograde, and it's going to go back and almost square Neptune. Neptune sneaks into 23 right when Mercury gets back to 24 in Gemini, so would have been a square, but it doesn't quite get it. So it's like another factor of you didn't quite shift the gear and it's grinding, or just not gonna, you're working on something and it's like, come on, and if you don't have the perfection, many times it just doesn't happen, or you have to wait until it comes back again or whatever, or you're missing out. This is actually, it'll never touch it again until the next time it shoots around and catches up to Neptune. So yeah, and just reviewing what we said, the heat is on, and this Mercury and Mars kind of working the same retrograde time, and in air signs working with Saturn, but Uranus is on their nodes. There's a lot of factors depending on what different techniques you use and study. There's many, and in astrology, you see one thing, it's like, okay, that energy is present, but if there's 3 or 4 things, you're like, okay, I'm getting some serious flags. I got a lot of things going, and something's going to change. Something's, we got to bounce or shift or whatever. So, but it's frustrating. So try not to be frustrated, even though that's kind of how it is. Bless you.
Excuse me.
And yeah, frustration, not true.
Sneeze at the truth.
Yes.
That saying, sneeze at the truth.
Right. So just don't agree with me. Just sneeze. So anyways, it's just really intense, and this is the middle of our, as in the United States, it's a Pluto return. It's our first Pluto birthday, and it's very intense. There's a lot of extreme weather, and then there's all these things they talk about, but just whatever's affecting you and whatever you keep up on. I hate to get specific, because people focus on different things and have different emotional reactions to different things. We all have our stuff, but it's right. Intense. There's a lot of changes, and today also the Queen. Our chart's very much tied in. Of course, we were kind of born from the colonies of England or Great Britain, and
right. And
so the Queen passed. Yes,
the second passed.
Yeah,
and she was the longest reigning British monarch.
Mm-hmm.
And
so yeah, no one's safe from this. Change. Yeah. Anyways, it's if whatever experience you have of Mercury retrograde, if you ever follow it, another truth, if your throat chakra starts to tighten up, just anything you've ever gleaned or learned, the old saying of like dot your I's, cross your T's, be very careful and review paperwork and contracts. But like we said before, kind of the easy way to think about it is just RE words, and use review and regret, I don't know, revisit friends, revisit issues. Yeah, just
reworking.
It doesn't have to be new. You're doing research and finding out new things, but it's also going over the old things and checking out, like with Pluto and Capricorn, your business. It's like to be productive, you do have to stop and take inventory. You do have, it's like, we're not being productive. It's like, well, taking inventory is productive. It might not be long-term productive, but it might not be short-term, but long-term, it's very important to keep up with things like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm going to come back to that. I
Okay.
just wanted to touch on that gear
Sure.
example you gave me.
Which gear?
Because I drive a stick, I drive standard manual transmission, and yeah, I am sometimes out of sync, or and just shifting. And you shared with me about double clutching, and I watched this video, and it's like, hey, that's a great idea. It takes time to learn to do it, but it's a way of shifting how I'm doing something that it brought me more in sync with the car in some way, and shifting. It made me pause maybe where I was rushing. And in that rushing, I allowed for that little 1 degree off of what you were telling us is 1 degree off Neptune, and so that aspect. So the shifting was like that, right? You can't be 1 degree off when you're shifting the car, or you get that horrible grinding sound and you're destroying your gear. But also tied into that aspect, I picked up on this idea for perfection. So right now, I think we can feel extra frustrated because we all kind of have this internal, I won't call it a desire or need, but drive maybe to do things perfectly, to, make it right. I have to have it this way. And so,
make it perfect. Do it right.
Kind of not.
Don't be bad. Don't want to have a guilt trip. Don't want to be bad. Be like the good people.
Not happening.
Whatever that means. It's
so,
like, do your best. You're great. Don't worry about it.
Right. And so we're here tonight. Two things coming out of this with this strong retrograde is to move into like what Shawn was just saying. There's this little bit of a off angle from making a square. Well, it's okay. We're going for progress, not perfection. Give yourself permission to be a little off. It's okay that we're a little off, but be open to ways or information or things that can help you with adjusting what needs to be adjusted. Just like my driving, and shifting gears. And then, Shawn, you told me about double clutching, and that's helping because it slowed me down. And it's allowing me to be present. Because sometimes when we rush, we're not present. So if we're rushing and we're not present, we have that space to be off. And then that can come back, and especially when it's sizzling hot and we're in the frying pan, we're juggling the deadlines. We don't have room for the mistakes, right? And then we make mistakes. The other thing I wanted to bring in tonight is the importance of staying true to you. So
that's a big one.
Right? That is a big one. And there's so much information and misinformation being flooded across airways, across print. We're bombarded. So it's really important to step back and to develop our heart connection inside so that we can move to that inner heart and listen from this place of neutral. And Shawn, we talked about this in, I think, the last astrology cast about going to neutral. It's like become the observer when especially political stuff that's going on, or if there's drama unfolding around you, it's like don't get pulled in, go to neutral so you can get more information, but information that you get after you connect within your heart to your higher power, and
like going to neutral. Do you mean like we've worked on breathing calmly and going to love, as opposed to holding your breath and panicking and fear. It's like
Reacting,
proactive neutral, or it's
reacting.
proactive
Right.
Zen mind, or where, put yourself in
Well,
a good spot, or what do you mean by that?
yeah, that's a good question. So the going to neutral is
Oh, I lost.
really disengaging from the reaction. You move to the action of finding that calm place inside that's connected to your intuitive and higher guidance, so that
Hmm.
you can listen from that place of intuition and guidance. The more you work on moving into the space, opening your heart and connecting with your soul energy, you bring more light and love into your life, into your body. You start, the idea is to move into that heart space so that you can act from that place of love rather than reacting to something external that's happening that might want to be causing a trigger to be pushed, right? I'll get mad about that. But instead of getting angry, if I choose the calm place and observe and take in more information, not saying I'm not going to get angry if there is a violation or an injustice. We may be called to get angry about something, but when we get angry, we'll come from, it's like a calm, solid
Hmm.
action of anger that would then be healthy because the boundary got crossed. And when that boundary's crossed, we need to take an action. But if we just are in the reaction, if we just are, bouncing around, doing too much, something happens and we
Mm.
react and we're angry, we end up like attacking someone
Hmm.
verbally. I mean, hopefully not physically, right? But we could end up in emotional arguments or things and not feeling good later, right? Or there's just so much chaos going on. So we don't want to react with an intense emotion that came from being triggered. Does that make sense if something's going on?
Yeah, I just keep
Right?
thinking, to me, neutral, it's like the car's not in gear, you can't move. But from listening to you, are you saying it's more like, the word that comes to me is more like zenning out or living in the moment, and not, getting rushed or moved into a certain way because of emotions, or, past or future thoughts, but
Right.
neutral being open, like Zen
Neutral being
open.
open,
Yeah.
and we
To
could
me, it's
call,
neutral's too passive, or it seems like you're not doing nothing. It's
you could be calling it Zen, but
yeah.
this type of neutral is, it's that pause, right? It's that pregnant pause while you wait. And that can be very powerful. You're
Yeah.
in neutral, but you're in neutral and you're connecting your heart to your soul. You're connecting to higher guidance to listen. You're bringing your intuition on board, right? You're bringing all your multisensory aspects of this being, that's this body here, bringing it all on and listening from that place. And so maybe there is a word that's better than neutral, but
Yeah,
if
to
we're
me that sounds like ramping up, but it's a passive activity. It's proactive, but it's very still, or holding space kind of thing.
exactly, it's more
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's active. We will need to be active to be in neutral when things are exploding around us and there's drama, and this side said
Could be a
that and
lot of
that
work to
side
get to
said
neutral.
that, and it can absolutely. Absolutely, to get that quiet, still heart
Can
and go deeper. And then it gets easier the more you do it, you
we
know.
just panic and have fun and run around and yell? Isn't that funner in the moment? Come on.
Oh,
All right, we'll try
is
to
it
be
fun?
adults and be responsible. And yeah, that was my cop out for my kids. Just be the bigger persons. Oh,
We say that, right? It's like, oh, how do you
that's the
do that?
Western style of saying being neutral, maybe.
So in staying true to you, We
Mm.
have to know, you know, who am I?
Yeah. So
And
maybe
to
the
know,
neutral, yeah. So
and
stay truth to you is to like ask what would I do or where am I at in this process or what, what are my feelings or what are my greatest good besides the flow of
right,
everything around me.
right. It's
Find the calm
basically,
for the storm.
well, and who am I is also bringing us into, our heart and getting into the soul connection. Who am I? What am I here to do?
Mm.
Am I just going to follow this idea that's being put out, or these people that are saying do this? Or am I going to take that moment and pause and say, "Ooh, that's kind of got me listening and concerned about what's going on." Yeah, but I'm not going to just jump. I want to get more information. And I get more information by creating the space in my heart and connecting with the soul and higher guidance. And then from that place, then I can look for the information, research during retrograde, and then I can
Bonus
reimagine.
points. Yeah.
I can reimagine. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I got this information. Oh, does this feel true in my
Mm.
gut? Or does this feel like it's hyped up or sensationalized?
This,
Or one more, or is it
yeah.
genuinely, oh, this is really a concern and needs to be acted on? And if it is genuine in that way, and then it's time to take that action, that is inspired action.
Mm. It, I seem like I feel like I'm in like the total Western mind. I'm usually more Eastern, but I keep wanting to label it or get a hold of it. Is this like spiritual cognitive dissonance? It's, is that if I was in Western layman terms and not just, I feel like I have to put a label. I don't know what's wrong with me. So, did that make any sense?
You're just
Coming
feeling
from
all
a
the
male
energy of
or a
these
yeah, or
days, all
whatever,
this,
I don't know.
everything. Everybody wants labels now.
That's right. Well, that's, yeah, I've had psychic teacher. It's like label it so then you can address it and deal with it. You have to put a
Mm.
label on something. But then, yeah, it's like, there's all the Zen stuff and if it fell in the forest and you couldn't hear it. Did you hear it? Did it make a sound? It's like, there's all that paradoxical stuff of like, no, there's no answer, or there is an answer that there is no answer, or whatever they get into.
Right. So let's take a moment. Let's
I'll
take a
try to do
moment.
neutral. I promise. I'll
Oh
try
no,
to,
let's just take this moment now.
yeah, let's shift into neutral
We're
here.
we're heading in. So I know we can all use the centering, the
Like,
calming, the permission
mhm.
to be where we're at, and especially right now, choosing to look from that heart and from that place of love. So something challenging, I'll say challenging, not bad, but something really challenging happens. Yeah, I just have come through that. But then it's like, okay, what was the blessing here?
Right.
And so I had a good like car challenge, right? And we're in Southern California and kind of need a car to make it easier. You can get around, but mass transit is can have a lot of challenges. And so, all of a sudden I go to jump in, the car won't go. Like, oh, but then it's like, okay, this can work around. And what's the biggest blessing here? The biggest blessing is I came home. I picked up my son from school, came home, parked in front of the house, went in, everything, then went out to do the errand, and it wouldn't start. I'm home safely. So I gave that gratitude for that. And I'm like, okay, it'll all work. Things always do work. But there's a reason this is happening, and it's retrograde time. And this is where my hit came. But it was gentle. I was at home. I wasn't stranded anywhere. I wasn't late to going somewhere. The errand, I was able to borrow a car and go. So finding that grace and gratitude helps us in flowing through the challenges.
Cool.
And so here we go. So we're going to focus for a few moments in our heart. And whether you are joining us live or on the replay, whether you're in someplace cool or whether you're in someplace hot, just take a few moments. There's a lot going on. If you're blessed and you don't have a lot going on, that's amazing. Doing this process is going to take you to that same beautiful, calm space. And if you've got a lot going on, this is what we need to practice. All right. So your eyes can be open or closed. And just going to take a breath, breathe in, and fill your body, feel your rib cage expanding, and then release it and you can let your breath come out. Just so it can release quickly or slowly. Let the vocal cords come and release. Then when you're ready, you're going to take another breath. We're going to do another breath in, full breath. This time as you fill your lungs and your rib cage, just feel your heart inside, whether you're feeling an actual pounding or just tuning in that your heart is there. And release the breath gently. And now as you take this next breath, it's just a deep, gentle, cleansing breath. Love and light. I'm calling in my soul's connection and the higher love and light as I breathe. Breathe into your heart. Expand that through your chest cavity with a deep breath into your body. Align and release the breath. However is comfortable to release, you're just letting go. And now we're just going to breathe a deep and gentle breath. As you're breathing in this connection, this soul connection, and this higher light and love. And as you're exhaling, you're just releasing. And just continue your breath at your own pace while I bring in some thoughts. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever is comfortable for you. So now, as you're breathing, just remember, in times of chaos and stress, it's easy to hold. And when we hold our breath or we hold tension, if we are holding stress, it throws off our rhythm. It changes our vibration. As we breathe this connection, we're breathing in the higher light and love. We return our vibration to that place of connection, to the place of healing. So on our exhales, it's just the thought, let go, release, if you prefer the word release. And on your inhales, connection. You're connecting to love, you're connecting to light, you're connecting to your higher source, your soul, and your higher power. Breathing in. And as you breathe into your heart now, know that your heart is connected. Your deep, sacred heart is connected to your soul, to source. And as you exhale, you're just letting go of that outer world, letting go of whatever has been pressing and holding. And you're breathing in the sustenance of your connection to higher light, higher love, higher energy. Tuning into your heart, sense it, feel it. Again, you're breathing at your own pace and just following my words. And if your heart is feeling tight or a little hard to connect to, just gently hold it with your thoughts as you just say open. It is safe to open your heart in this sacred space with yourself. It is safe to connect with your soul, to allow your soul's energy to come in, to guide you, to nurture you, to empower you. This is your time. This is the time to stay true to you. And your inner heart knows, your sacred heart knows your truth. You are here to express. Breathe into knowing that deep within you, you know the truth of your purpose, the truth of your calling, and what you are here to express, how you are here to contribute to this time of change. Just allow yourself in this moment to feel the love coming from your spiritual team and your soul. You're so supported. We are all supported by our spiritual team and love and light. Breathing in again, feeling that love and support, and releasing the breath and letting go. And as we breathe in again, we're going to bring our attention more present in our body and more present in the room, releasing and letting go on the exhale. And now as you breathe in, we'll breathe one last breath here, breathing into your heart center. And smile. Smile in your heart. Smile with your soul. You've got this. And most importantly, we're all here together connecting and coming online together with this incredible, beautiful force of love and light that we're bringing online together in our bodies and in our communities. So as you take a breath in, fill your body, and then release that breath with a smile and a big exhale. Feel your fingers, feel your toes, and feel yourself here in this moment as you open your eyes and bring your attention fully back if they were closed. Back to this moment now. Back to the beauty of staying true to you amidst whatever chaos is going on. In your, you could call it in our happy spot. Yeah, we can be happy. You know, things can be going on and it's okay to be happy inside.
The happy place.
It's actually really good if we vibrate, if we hold that happiness and joy. Think of something happy and joyous to hold. And you can come back to that happy spot. We don't have to take the crazy ride just because the crazy train came by. We can let it pass. And we can say, oh, you know, I'm going to take a more balanced ride. because I'm going to move to neutral as I wait in this moment for my guidance to tell me. My intuition will guide me. Is this the good ride or is this the crazy ride? Because I prefer a balanced, calm ride.
Yeah. Have you ever heard "Not my monkeys, not my circus"?
Yes, exactly. It's super duper easy to get pulled into a crazy circus.
Yeah, because we're social creatures, or
Yeah.
because we're supposed to. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's easy to follow that, and that's how people got burned and stuff.
That's kind of the strength and weakness of Pisces type energy is you can connect to anything, but if it's negative, it's just as easy to connect with it and it can bring you down. Where the positive, you have to have a real life balance, but to keep that in mind. And if you're feeling down, usually the energy's down. So
Right.
find a positive and change
Right.
the channel yourself with a gear or whatever, or go to that
Exactly.
neutral place.
Yeah, go to that neutral place, and that neutral place can be your happy place, but it'll be the place that you can make a clear decision from. It'll be the place where you listen, observe, feel. Does this feel true? Does this feel like an accurate truth? And then in that place, how do I feel? Do I feel light? Do I feel off? Because if it's feeling off, I think I want to move to what felt light. Because that's what will empower us. So how are you feeling, Shawn?
Good. I always feel better after a Valorie healing session. I'm biased, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and if you're doing this process, and when you take your breaths, if you need to, if things are feeling really heavy or anything, you can always bring your breath in. Release with the breath, or use that and or make a statement. Blah.
Or you use the word pause, and that's a famous quote. Whoever gets credit for it is, if you're angry, count to 10. If you're really angry, count to 100. And tying that into astrology, these aspects we talk about, when they perfect, when it's exactly a perfect angle and all the numbers match. If you count to 10 or 100, if you wait a little while, then they won't be exactly matched in the energy. You want to use the energy, but if it seems like you need a moment to pause and ground or whatever, or you're going to come from a place where you're not neutral, then you can wait it out, or you could, like we've talked about, people, they say, oh, that's a good question. I think you said that to me just a minute ago, but in press conferences or any time when someone, like blah blah blah, and there's a strong aspect, like, oh, that's a good question, you pause, and it's okay to pause. And that's the first thing they teach you in Toastmasters, the public speaking thing, is like, first you have to listen, and it's okay to pause and not fill up with and so. And like, I was watching myself on our last podcast trying to get better. It's like, boy, he's got a lot of filler words in there. It's okay to pause. I'm a little out of practice from Toastmasters, so.
Yes. So in this, so observe, move to that place. Oh, I was thinking that neutral is also that place between shifting gears, right? So it's that place of observation. Do I go this way or do I go that way? It's that place of, breathe into this moment, breathe in the energy, and listen to my guidance, because my intuitive guidance knows what I need to do. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And just if it's feeling right, you'll know whatever the it is. So I thank everyone joining us tonight. Shawn, do you have anything else coming to mind as we're closing?
Not really. Oh, throat, maybe.
Oh,
yes.
Reimagine.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to bring that in as we're doing this, working this retrograde this time, because it is very strong. Prickly was the word I think you used before we were live. It's just prickly energy, possibly. So just as you reviewing, reworking, everything, when you connect in your heart and you use, that's breath or however you're going to go in and connect, reimagine, revision.
Right. And
Right.
people, yeah, like I'm in Western mode, like NLP, in neuro linguistic programming. It's like reframe it, picture it how you want, turn up the volume or the brightness on things that you're attracted to or want to go towards, and then dull the other ones. So,
Nice.
and yeah, reimagine. Just, if you don't like the way things are, picture it how you want them. And that's, there's an eloquent way someone's explained to me before of, if you think of how you want it in the future, you're making the future now by you focusing on it, and that's what you're envisioning, and that's a key to one of the tools to go towards what you want and what reality you want to develop proactively or neutrally.
Well, it is, and the key is the more you go into this calm sacred space in your heart and then reimagine and revision, you're actually making it happen quicker, because you're getting out of all the emotional charges. Right. You're getting to this calm centered place. I guess neutral is going to this calm centered place. You're going to this place that's disengaged from the outer stimuli that are attempting to control a reaction. We're just disengaging from all of that and going to that calm centered space that we fuel with the love in our heart and the love of that soul connection. And from that place, that's where we take our inspired action rather than having a reaction. So thank you, Shawn Sykora.
Thank you, Valorie Renée.
And thank you, everyone joining us live or in the replay. You can find us on Facebook. For those on Facebook, Shawn's at Shawn's Astrology, SHAWNS, Shawn's Astrology. And I'm on Facebook at Topaz Visions, TOPAZ, like the stone topaz, Visions, VISIONS. That's also my website name, topazvisions.com. Well, happy to see you, and thank you for sharing this special unscripted show with us tonight.
burning intelligence.
Yeah. In the frying pan in California.
Good luck to everybody out there dealing with fires or extreme weather, whatever it is, and world government and all that good stuff.
Extreme weather, and there's floods. I mean,
floods,
other places. I was reading, there's people underwater, in parking lots underwater, and so
challenging times.
Yeah, and remember, even in those challenges, it's like, look, some people call it a bright side, but we don't want a bright side and say, well, look for the bright side and it'll diminish it. We're not trying to diminish it. It's that find a gratitude, because gratitude helps carry us through the challenges and helps raise our energy to stay connected and see the path we need to take. And know it.
And we're social creatures, and helping out people when horrible things are happening, it's like that's when we come together. When everything's easy, we get brainwashed with commercials, or we have slack or spare time and we make up all this other, it might be negative, but when things are bad, it's like suddenly we turn to helping people. Typically that's what people do. So
that's the
if we just stay that way, maybe it wouldn't be as crazy. Is that a clue? Is that a weird clue? I'm still having trouble. I'm all Western today. I don't know.
The best of our humanity can come forward, and the times of the challenge are the times of our growth. We don't grow and call out to our soul and higher power when we're coasting along. Right? So we have challenges, and those challenges remind us, I can dig deeper, and I can open higher. higher being, to my higher guidance, bring in the soul and say, okay, wait, what's this about? And let me move through it. And also the challenges coming are a sign that we are growing,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah.
And
And
that we're
to
just
me,
going to take care of it.
I just keep hearing social, connecting with people, and that people, when stuff happens, whether they're helping you or they're bringing up issues you have to deal with or whatever, it's like you're connecting with people and then try to make that, pleasant as possible. And, those things like listening where the person's coming from, not just your own problem. And, I try to listen to myself while I'm talking, because it's easy to get overheated or frustrated, or it's like, it's so simple in my mind, but, they have to do the work, or they're coming from somewhere else, or they have other issues distracting them, or not enough sleep, or whatever. There's lots of factors. So
Right, exactly. They just might not see it
yeah,
yet. And if we can listen just with that open heart and just listen in neutral, then we are holding space basically. And that
yeah,
helps shine that light for that other person to reach that what they need to, he or she
yeah.
needs to.
And
Yeah,
the exchange, it's like, it's social. There's going to be give and take usually, and it's not all one-sided. And see what part you're receiving and what part you're giving.
mm,
How can
yes,
you help?
right. How can we help? And
Or
sometimes that's,
assist.
yeah, sometimes that's with our love and our light and our prayers. But other times we'll be guided, that there's more that can be done. Oh, there's a gift card for food, or like today, oh, it was so hot. And
How hot was it?
smoking hot. So I had put a pop top water bottle, the ones you buy at the store. I had
Uh-huh.
put it in the fridge. I was having it be cold so I could take it with to when I picked up my son. And then that way he would have cold water, since it was really hot. And I was working and I heard the mail get dropped in my box. I heard the mail hit the bottom of the mailbox and I was like, oh, cold water. And it just popped in my head. So I ran to the kitchen. I got out that water bottle and I went outside, and the mailman had already gone around and was heading back down the hill. And I said, hello. And he looked over, and as I came out from behind my vehicle, he could see me, and I held it up and I said, would you like cold water? This cold water?
It's like, damn right.
Yeah. He's like, I would, thank you. And he said, I brought water and I have a little ice pack
Yeah,
cooler, but you can't have too much. And
yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. Because it is hot. And he took
yeah,
his little towel. He's just wiping all the sweat. And I said, thank you. You're having to deliver everybody's mail in this, and thank you. And I
yeah,
gave him the water and I said, this water, because he said, I have water. And I'm like, yes. And this is also cold water, and it's also some love with it.
it's some neutral water.
And he smiled. It's neutral
Anyways,
and it's charged with love.
yeah,
So when we go to
nice.
neutral, we can connect with the love easier.
Yeah.
Disengage external, engage internal. We like that. So thank you, everyone. Sweet, happy day, or sweet, happy dreams, whichever is in your path as you finish listening. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.